experience growing up, you just didn't see many people like that, and a different set of people will say something completely different. So let's touch on why you felt like you couldn't be a writer. That couldn't be like a profession for you.
If I'm honest, it just wasn't a thought. It never came into my head. I didn't think what I was doing was anything special. I didn't think it was odd that I was eight writing stories. I just didn't think much of it at all. No one made a big fuss. They just seemed to enjoy it. I enjoyed writing it. That was literally it. I think I had read at that time Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman. I wasn't necessarily like, oh, a black person. I don't think I really even understood that, if I'm honest. I don't think I understood the books I read didn't really have that many black people, because there were females in books that I thought I could relate to a lot. So like Judy Blume especially wrote really great books for teenage girls with females in it, and I could relate to the female. I wasn't necessarily being like, oh, she's not black. That wasn't really my main focus. I think my main focus was seeing girls at the helm of a book. And yeah, no one had said to me that writing was a job, and I didn't even know anything about books apart from I like reading it. I didn't know how you'd become an author. It just seemed very foreign. So when my teacher said it, I was like, oh, that makes sense. But how do I do that? And I remember her being like, I actually don't know how anyone becomes that, but I think you should look into it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then that is where my journey started.
Fantastic. And I think you're right. I mean, for me personally, growing up, I grew up with a lot of Enid Blyton books, like Famous Five, the Nancy Drew. They didn't look like me, but there were things about what they were doing I was able to relate with. But I guess now where we are in the world, there's a lot more consciousness around that representation. And you think, okay, what more can I do in that space? You obviously encountered the expectations of your parents in terms of what they wanted you to be. How did you challenge that? How did you navigate that?
I mean, I'm the youngest and I'm probably the most rebellious, I guess, out of my siblings. And
Are you?
I can be quite, if I'm set on something, I'm set on it. And it's quite hard to change my mind on something. I think once I decided that's what I wanted to be and it just made sense to me, I was like, I'm going to figure it out. And I think now that I'm older, I can look back and see how my parents, it wasn't that they was unsupportive because they thought I couldn't do it. I think they just didn't understand the writing world, and I didn't understand it either. So my plan was poor. So they would be like, well, how are you going to do this? I'd be like, I don't know. Well, how much money do you make? I don't know. And I just didn't know anything. And they were just like, this is stupid. So I think that's really where it came from. And then that's why I thought, okay, maybe if I go to university and I study creative writing, I can learn about how to become an author. All the teachers were authors. My third year was meant to be us writing a book for a year to submit to an agent. I thought that makes sense, let's do that. But I think what happened was I got to college and for some reason I just checked out in college. I don't know what happened in college. I don't know, I just didn't like college that much.
Structure.
I think it was the fact there wasn't that much structure I found difficult. I went from secondary school where it's very structured your day. Then in college, they kind of just leave you to it. It's like, this is your schedule, but you're not here all day. You have to come in every day. And no one's really on your case if you don't come in. And I think I found that a bit odd. I think I found that odd, having to be quite responsible for myself. And I was dancing a lot at that time. Like I was really involved in a lot of dance outside. So my days were really busy. I'd go to college and I'd go to rehearsal for 4 hours, kind of every day. Then every weekend I was performing. And now I'm like, maybe I just felt a bit burnt out and I didn't know I was burnt out. When I got to college, I had this great idea that I'll be really serious in college and I won't really do anything creative. And I'll do English, literature, and lang, and I'll do media, and I'll do sociology, and I'll do psychology, and I'll do all this, stuff. And I didn't like it. I just wanted to do the fun stuff, and I kind of picked all the stuff that was a bit more serious. And I hated English in college, which made me nervous that maybe I couldn't be a writer because I didn't like English in college.
Wow. There doesn't seem to be a straight path through, honestly.
No.
All the things that people might think you should be ticking off, you weren't ticking them off.
No.
But somehow you've arrived at this place that you are right now.
Yeah, I think that's what I found quite difficult, is I wasn't really doing, I think, the typical things. Like I did not like English. I only like English if we were doing like a story, but I couldn't stand all the essays. I couldn't stand reading all the old books.